Hello everybody, Andy here from Glass Half Dead, the only channel on the internet ever created. Hi, how's it going? So today we're talking about a way to transport your kill teams to your local event. I have multiple ways of doing this. As you know, I always say in my affiliate links, oh, check out this or blah. But I thought it's been so long since I've done a, hey, here's all the gear I use. Let's do a bit of a breakdown. So today we have Crossfire Games, which a lot of you will probably know, but he just released a new thing. So I thought, hey, whilst we're here, I'll look at the new thing and how cool it is for the new approved ops, but also go over the entire system that he has going. So first things first, Crossfire Games, they've got an Etsy store. They also have their own website. If you buy through the website, you just it's just 20% cheaper than Etsy because he doesn't have to pay Etsy fees basically. So consider that. If you use my code, you get an additional 5% off, whether you're using Etsy or his website. So this is an all-in-one travel solution. It has a whole bunch of cool stuff in it, and I'm going to go over all of it for you. The idea here is the guy that does it, Nick Collins, great guy, really good player. You've probably seen him on the ITC rankings, etc. He's a great player in London. He loves Chaos Cults apparently. And one of the things that he does is basically he prototyped this for this system for like 6 months before he actually released it, because of course he 3D prints, he has his own store, and he goes and plays a lot of Kill Team. And so this is a very well tested thing. First things first, what is it? So it is a magnetic tray that allows you to transport your team in this delightfully held up system. Okay, there you go. It fits into a backpack. I have a 33-liter backpack that I use for, that's my daily driver, if you will. And for that, this fits in there perfectly. I like to use the Crossfire system when you are looking at going anywhere using a backpack. So if I can drive there, I might use a different way of transporting my stuff. But if I'm going by train, or I just think that I will want to have my stuff in a backpack for the day, then this is genuinely the best system out there. Right. First things first, you have a dice tray. Oh, all of this can also be bought separately, to clarify. You don't have to buy the whole system. You can buy everything individually. Right, first things first, we have the dice tray. It's a dice tray. This is it's like a little bit of a softer pad, so things don't bounce out, but it is just a nice 3D printed tray with the hooks that holds everything together. This will get modified as well in a moment. We'll come back to that, don't worry. We then have this, which is kind of your all-in-one score tray. We'll look at that in just a moment, don't worry. We'll go through the main system first. We then have our magnetic tray. So we can slide this bit out. This bit is very interesting. So I've put together my Plague Marine kit, basically. And you see, we have these. So I can put these here, my little strap ploys, and I can slide them in and slot them out if I wish to say, oh yeah, what are my rules? Oh right, I've got these. And then what equipment am I taking? Well, I'm going to take my plague grenades, and I also want to take a stun grenade and a smoke grenade. So I put them all in here, and then when I use them, I just slide them out, and they're gone, and I can put them back into my token caddy, which we will also look at in a moment. So this is quite fun. It's just a way to keep everything together as well. So very multitudinal in what it does. There we go. We then have the magnetic tray. Now, to be honest, I never take the magnetic tray out, but here we go. Everything just... these are the only bases I've ever magnetized, by the way. It's super simple, but I just can never be bothered. But there you go. They all stay on there easily peasily. Lovely jubbly. And the reason I had my Canoptek on there is because this is the tallest model in the game so far. It's even taller than the Ravener Prime. And as you can see, it was in there when I pulled this all out. So there is enough space for every model you have in this kit. I'll put that there. Right, we then have a bottom tray. You can put whatever you want in here. I've just put a bunch of random dice, but you have these. And these little bits go on the dice tray. So, very quickly, now you don't have to do this, of course, it's optional, but you've got these little racks here. You can swap them around, and boom, you have little trays. So when you roll your dice, you're like, okay, I roll, I've got a 6, and I've got a 5, There you go. And you put them to the side so that then your opponent can roll their dice and say, great, I've got a 4, I've got a 4, and you've got them clear of the dice tray, but still easily where you can see. There you go. A fun little thing he's done there. Now, let's quickly take a look at the new thing he's done. So these are objective markers. I guess we'll make this the objective marker portion of the review, right? Oh, or I'll look at these quickly as well. Very quickly, he has these are wound counters which you can use. So you've got that. You just slide it around as you see, easy peasy, and it goes like that. So that's pointing at who you're marking, and it pops up like that to show if they're injured, which is quite fun, I think, isn't it? There you go. They're injured. Boom. And then they're only on 5 wounds. Easy. Nice. That's a thing you can consider. And of course, it's all magnetized. There you go. Right. We then have objective markers. Let me tell you this. There are 2 things that you need to buy. So all of this is a bit of fun, right? We're looking at cool toys that we can use to enhance our games. However, very genuinely, I think that there are 2 things that you have to buy to enjoy Kill Team more. All of this is dumb fun. However, to actually enhance your game of Kill Team, I think you need an objective marker and you need a token caddy. We'll look at the token caddies in a moment. When it comes to objective markers, he does objective markers. You get these are nice and cheap and very simple. They do a great job. They're very flexible and they're very thin. Okay, I use blue tack on the back so that they don't move. They're really, really good. He also does an additional type, which is these, which are exactly the same, of course, except they have a central hole of 40 mil, so that you can put something in there, like a 40 mil objective marker. There you go. How about that? Of course, this this is just giving you the actual. You don't have to do that. You can just leave it like that as well. But that's obviously just giving you the control range. Now, let's look at these themselves. So, buy objective markers. One of these 2, pick one, buy it. It honestly makes the game significantly easier to see where you are trying to move to, as opposed to always having to say, oh, actually, I can't quite get to within an inch of that. Oh, but it's really, really close, and I've forgotten after we've done another 20 activations in the turn where I'm supposed to be, where did I end up, etc. Okay, cool. Right. So buy one of these 2, depending on how you feel, and then let's have a quick look at these. So these are his new. They're called score cubes. He's called them, and we actually need something else. We're going to quickly look in here. We'll come to this. Don't worry. We need our crit ops. So these are designed around the new crit ops. Okay. Now, the most obvious thing is, of course, if you're doing a standard one. Oh, I don't have these in order because I shuffle them every time I play, so I can draw a random one. So if you're doing a standard mission where you just need to score up, so you say, okay, well, I'm the blue, cool, I'm going to be, it's that way up. Okay, well, blue player, I've scored 1, I've tapped once, I've tapped twice, I've tapped thrice. Cool, well, I've tapped once, twice, thrice, easy. And then on the side, you see it's got a tick, got a cross. Okay, and then you've got another one, which is exactly the same. A tick, a cross, and it goes 1, 2, 3. Cool. And then you've got this one, which has, again, 1, 2, 3. But on the side, it has this. So, the numbers being individual counters that both players can count up as they want is kind of the core concept of this. But then, because he obviously is a very good player and is very into Kill Team, he really had to think about how can we adapt just putting a dice there, right? So firstly, if you are ever playing orb, hey, you need only one of these. That is your orb marker, because of course, if you don't know orb, you can say, okay, I move the orb that way, that way, that way. Starts on 2, there you go. So that is your orb marker that can be used as needed. Cool. You can then instead play, for example, stake claim, or some of the others. But state claim, you can say, okay, well, I'm gonna say, or what's the download? I think is it download. So in download, in turn 3 and 4, you can choose to download the objective, and once you do, that objective marker no longer counts. You could put 3. There you go. That I've downloaded that intel. It can no longer be scored. Cool. Okay. Well, I'm also going to download number 1. That is also downloaded, so you know. But then you can also do stake claim. So stake claim is where, if you don't know, you point to an objective and you say, either I will hold this or the opponent won't hold this. So you could say, okay, I'm the blue player. So for number 1, I'm going to stake my claim and say that I won't hold this one, or whatever it is you say. So you put your X there, or you can say that I will hold this one. So you put the tick there, that kind of thing. There you go. These are quite fun. It's a good way to track all of the stuff that you have to track in TAC Ops using a very simple system. There you go. And of course, these don't have to be paired with one of the objective markers like these that show you the control range, but I would recommend that you do. There you go. Cool. Right. For sure. These, to me, are optional. They're fun little ways. You can just use dice, right? You can just put a dice down, but these are fun ways to make it a bit more kind of purpose built. But these are mandatory to play the game. I would buy 50 sets of these before I buy them. You have to purchase these, okay? And then if you want a bit of fun, buy the score cubes. But definitely buy the control range markers. Right, cool. There you go. That was very obvious, wasn't it? Nice. I've gone over that. Let's take a look at this now, because I think this is the logical next step. So first things first, on here, we have a scoreboard. A scoreboard is intensely important, especially with the loss of battle kit right now. We are all reeling from that bad boy. Another video on that later. But the truth is that in the last edition of Kill Team, I used battle kit religiously as an online score tracker. Since starting this new edition, I've actually haven't been using it as a score tracker because I've been using this as a score tracker. It just works. You just put your dice there. It's like, there you go, boom. Look, they're designed exactly to fit that correct size. And then, so you very clearly, you have your faction rules if you're collecting something like wrecker points, maybe, your command point, your turning point, etc. All right there. This itself is, in fact, you know what? I would almost say this is the third mandatory thing. I think you need objective markers, you need a token caddy, and you need a score tracker. There you go. There are other ways to score your tracks, but I reckon this is a very good way of doing it. Cool. We then crack it open. We have 20 mil control range markers. So this is for things like your smoke grenade, super useful. Smoke grenade, of course, has been very important. How many bases can you fit in around your smoke grenade? Really hard to tell. When you put one of these down, you now know. There you go. So those are quite useful. You've got rooms for dice. You've got a funky looking sneak maneuvering range finder thingy. I like to call them range finders because that's a fun thing, isn't it? There you go. And that has all sorts of different ways you can measure things. You also have 3D printed equipment because you know what? Maybe sometimes people don't want to buy their own equipment. It's all done to the correct size, of course. And you don't have to put his equipment in there. These are all, of course, the correct size for the real equipment as well. So you can put your painted equipment in these if you want. Got the ladders of the correct size here as well. There you go. There's also room here for a army painter laser target, a laser line, basically. And then we have finally getting on to, hold on, a token caddy. Now, a token caddy is genuinely mandatory. There you go. And the reason I can say that is because I spent all of last edition playing without a token caddy. I just had everything in a plastic bag. Okay? And it added so much time to the start of my game that I genuinely played the game less because I didn't want to sort out my tokens. Okay? That's crazy, but true. As soon as you have any level of friction added to your system, people will play it less. This token caddy, this one here is designed to work with your standard cardboard tokens that you get from obviously buying the core rule set or one of the starter sets, etc. Everything fits in here. My one isn't filled out because I've used them lots and put them in various other places, but this does fit everything. There you go. So you got that one. Or if you want to buy his tokens, which are just 3D printed tokens, which we'll take a look at, you have this one. These both fit inside the all-in-one box there. They also fit inside, if you don't want to put them into the all-in-one box there, because you're using that for your approved ops, you can put it inside the larger all-in-one box. They need different words, don't they? I guess one's called the Essentials and one's the all-in-one box, I think. Yeah. This thing here, this is the Essentials box. And then everything is the all-in-one box. That or the travel box, I guess. That makes sense. Cool. Right, and this houses more objective markers, because you need those, and then a whole load of tokens. So what we have here are just exactly what you'd expect. You've got your double-sided tokens for engage, conceal. You've got everything. Everything that you got in here for your cardboard tokens, he has repurposed in here. That's the best way to show it. There you go. That's going to take me ages to put back together. You also have, it should be pointed out, of course, if you didn't guess already, tokens that are for specific factions. So this is my Plague Guard tokens. They don't get many tokens, but you also have the strats. Are these double-sided? No. There you go. Cool. I've also got this for mandrakes. So like these are my mandrake ones. He does loads of these. So we've also got, these are my rattling ones. These are my mandrakes. These are my wrecker crew. There's a lot. There's a lot is all I'm saying. And honestly, I think that these 3D printed tokens are a really nice mid-tier. They're a nice step up, and they're going to be far more durable and long-lasting than the cardboard tokens. You also, when you go to play at a tournament, won't mix them up with other people that have cardboard tokens, because most people are still using cardboard tokens, let's be honest. And they are honestly, I think, really quite good value for money. There are, of course, higher tiers of like, looks, quality, etc., when you go to acrylics, but those also come with a higher price point. I actually think that these are, you'll buy these once and then you never have to buy anything ever again when it comes to tokens. Unlike the cardboard tokens, where genuinely you probably need, depending on how much you play, but like 2 or 3 throughout the lifetime of the game, I would reckon. So having alternatives to that is, I think, a very good thing. And that is that. There you go. That is everything from Crossfire Games. I would put it back together, but as you can tell, that's going to take me hours now. So my bad. Shouldn't have dumped it all out like that. He does every single faction with unique tokens and this little unique strap ploys, and that's cool. And there you go. Cool. Well, thank you for watching. Let me know if this is of interest to you. If so, I will be looking at other pieces of gear you can buy. And of course, again, check out all of my affiliate links if you ever need to buy some Warhammer in the UK. I've got lots of affiliate links for that. I've also got Wargame Portal in the USA. And once more, if you click on the link below and use whatever my code is, I think it's Glass24, but it will be in the link below, you get money off both his Etsy and his website. But again, his website is just significantly cheaper. It's like 25% off if you use my code. This is pretty good. Makes everything much more affordable. So there you go. Thank you very much for watching. As I say, fits perfectly into a 30-litre backpack. And thanks for watching. Goodbye. I forgot my hellos, didn't I? And here is a double hello. Brilliant. That makes so much sense at the end of a video, doesn't it? Great. Well done, me.